Hello, my name is Brooke Kingery and I'm going to be doing my PowerPoint presentation on prenatal growth and development. We will discuss how prenatal growth and development relates to psychology, as well as we will identify the 3 stages of prenatal development, which are the germinal period, the embryonic period, and the fetal period. We will also identify things that can interfere with normal prenatal development, such as alcohol, drugs, and genetics. The first period is the germinal period. It lasts from conception to implantation of the zygote in the lining of the uterus, which is about 14 days in length. During this time also, the organism begins cell division and growth. It is estimated that about 60% of natural conceptions fail to implant in the uterus, and the rate is also higher for the in vitro conceptions. The next period is the embryonic period. This period begins once the organism is implanted in the uterine wall. It does last from the 3rd through the 8th week after conception. The cells continue to differentiate, and at 22 days after conception, the neural tube forms, which will become the brain and spinal column. And also, about 20% of organisms fail during the embryonic period, which is usually due to gross chromosomal abnormalities. The third period is the fetal period. During this stage, the major structures are continuing to develop. By the 12th week, the fetus has all its body parts, including the external genitalia. Also, in the following weeks, the fetus will develop hair, nails, teeth, and the excretory and digestive systems will continue to develop. At the end of the 12th week, the fetus is about 3 inches long and weighs about 28 grams. During the 4th through 6th months, the eyes become more sensitive to light and hearing develops. The respiratory system continues to develop. Reflexes such as suckling, swallowing, and hiccuping also develop during the 5th month. During the 7th through 9th months, the fetus is primarily preparing for birth. It is exercising its muscles. Its lungs begin to expand and contract. The fetus gains about 5 pounds and 7 inches during this last trimester of pregnancy. Unfortunately, there are things that can interfere with normal prenatal development. One of them I have listed is alcohol. It can sometimes, not all times, but most times lead to fetal alcohol syndrome. There's also what's called a substance of teratogen, which interferes with normal prenatal development. The teratogen I will expand a little bit more about. It's kind of like if you're building a computer, you accidentally spilled some soda on a few of the wires. You cannot clean it up, so you just continue building the computer, but you never really know until you try to run some software whether the spill will affect the computer's functioning or not. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So some babies whose mothers drink alcohol during pregnancy turn out fine, but others are born with fetal alcohol syndrome, a set of abnormalities that include physical differences as well as mental retardation. I'm going to elaborate just a little bit more, on how psychology relates to prenatal growth and development. We typically think of babies' development inside their mothers are more physical rather than psychological. But since the brain is growing and changing during this time, healthy prenatal development is actually really important for giving babies healthy, properly functioning minds. Kind of go back again to a computer. Think of it like a computer. Long before a computer ever tries to run software, its hardware needs to be put together properly. So if any of its wires are crossed or missing, the software will not run as well. As well as if the development of the baby's body and brain are disrupted, it can affect the way a baby's mind or software runs on it later.